Are you looking for a safe way to save some money for an emergency fund or a vacation, and you're just looking to get a little bit more return on your money than most traditional banks have to offer? Well, you're in luck, because in this video, I'm going to show you 7 high-yield savings accounts that save you more money. Hey, I'm Lance, and I'm with A Million Money Tips, and I want to welcome you to the channel. And if you're new here, and you want to find different ways to make and save money, click on that subscribe button to get more helpful tips and click on the bell notification so you don't miss any new videos. Based on a study by Go Banking Rates, most Americans are not saving enough money. So the article states that more than half Americans have less than $1,000 in their bank account. So if you're not putting back a consistent amount of money on a regular basis, then you are failing. Now I know everyone's situation is different, and you may have a ton of bills, or maybe you're taking care of children, and trust me, I know, because I have 2 of them and they're very expensive. Or you can just fill in the blank with any other thing that may prevent you from immediately pushing forward. But at the bare minimum, you should have a little bit of money put back for emergencies. Most financial professionals suggest at least 3 to 6 months of living expenses. And if you have this money saved in a traditional bank, you may be missing out on a significant amount of money. So what is a high yield savings account? So they're also known as high interest rate savings accounts, and they tend to earn a higher interest rate for deposits than what you would earn on a traditional savings account. And yes, they do give a better return on your money. I started using a high interest rate account here recently, and I was kicking myself for not using one so much sooner. I had about $7,000 in a traditional savings account, and guess how much interest I made for the entire year of 2018? It was 70 cents. So I did some research on some different high interest accounts and decided to try Ally Bank. So at first I just transferred over $434 late last year just to test it out. And at the end of the month, I made 44 cents in interest. Now I know 44 cents isn't a lot of money, but just think about it. I had roughly $7,000 in a traditional account for the entire year, and I only made 70 cents in interest. In the Ally account I only had $434 at the end of the month, and I made more than half of the interest payment from the traditional account. So just imagine how much I'll make at the end of the year when I transfer the rest of the money from my traditional account to the Ally Bank account. So why do they get a better return? Well, online banks tend to have lower fees and expenses than a brick and mortar bank, but you pretty much can have a decent rate of some credit unions as well. But bottom line, you're missing out on some decent interest payments just for having your money sit in a savings account. Here are some of the uses for a high interest savings account. So one, you can use it for an emergency fund or a vacation fund. You can also use the savings accounts for saving up for a down payment on your first or second home. There are literally numerous possibilities of what you can use these accounts for. So let's talk about some of the accounts now. I'll go through these very quickly. You can always do your research by clicking on the links in the description below. So there were plenty more to choose from, and I'll do a video about them in a later video or later time. But here are 7 of the websites or the accounts that stood out to me. So first up is Ally Bank. So the APY percentage is 2.2%. There is no minimum balance to get started. They are FDIC insured. They do have easy access to access your account, such as bank-to-bank transactions. So you can connect your external banking account to transfer funds into and out of the bank. You can do wire transfers and such. And the fees, there are none. So there's a little asterisk there on most all of them here. You just have to make sure you do your research. Typically, there are no management fees on these accounts. But say if you go over the transaction limits per month, there is a limitation to withdrawing funds out of your account. Typically, it is 6 times per month. And if you go over that amount on some of these accounts, there is the actual fee. But in order to maintain or place money into your account, there are no fees, but always do your research. Next up is American Express. The APY percentage is 2.1%. And always make sure to check the websites on these accounts because sometimes they do change. And the minimum balance is none. This is a FDIC insured account. Most of them are, or all of them are really on this list. They do have easy access to your money, and there are no fees. Next up is Barclays. So the APY percentage is 2.2%. There is no minimum balance to start. The money is FDIC insured, and there is easy access to your account, and there are no fees to start. Next up is Citizens Access. The APY percentage is 2.35%. The minimum balance is $5,000 to start. This is a FDIC insured account. There is easy access to your money, and there are no fees to start. Next is Marcus by Goldman Sachs. The APY percentage is 2.25%. There is no minimum balance to start. This is a FDIC insured account. There is easy access to your money, and there are no fees to start. Next up is Sallie Mae. Yes, that Sallie Mae. Yes, that one. So they have a savings account or a savings program that, is comparable to all the other accounts. The APY percentage is 2.1%. There is no minimum balance to start. They are FDIC insured. They give you easy access to your money, and there are no fees to start. And lastly is Synchrony. So the APY percentage on this account is 2.2%. There is no minimum balance to start. It is FDIC insured. They give you easy access to your money, and the fees are, there are no fees to start. So let's talk about some cons and pros. Pros, online banking is very convenient. You're able to receive a higher interest rate. You're able to take advantage of compound interest. Your money is FDIC insured, and most companies or most websites, they have no minimum balance to start. Some of the cons is the rates could be variable, so always make sure to do your research. Usually there are no physical locations, and some of these websites, they may have ATM or debit card, but most are not provided. Usually there is a maximum of 6 withdrawals per statement cycle, and some fees may apply, so always do your research. So do you think one of these savings accounts is for you? Do you already have a high interest savings account somewhere? Tell me how it's going so far by commenting below. Click the subscribe button to get more financial related resource videos, and hit the like button if you like the video. Also, check out more helpful videos by clicking the links on the screen.